Hi everyone, and welcome to the part 2 of my summer orchid collection update. And I want to start off this part by saying that I forgot to mention that I've lost a few orchids since the spring collection update. So right now, I think the last count was exactly 150 orchids. I don't think I counted like anything that I have 2 of, but that doesn't happen a lot in my collection. So right now we're working with 150, which is a good number for me to manage given my work schedule. But okay, enough of that. This is my Trichoglottis brachiata, and since the heat has been coming on in our lovely Georgia weather, it's put out this root, and I can see this leaf coming out. There's an active root tip there, and that one was, it's been there forever, so that's good. So now I know for sure that it loves the heat, and this is the ingredient that needs to start growing again. And we're going to go with this shelf, which is mainly Phalaenopsis, specifically mostly species, and this one is my Phalaenopsis hieroglyphica. It is doing really well. This is the leaf that we saw during it pushed out during the winter. It's the biggest one, I think, but it's also the thinnest one. And I'm starting to have this theory that's sort of been going in my head for a while now, that for Phalaenopsis, anytime that we have less light, it tends to develop a very skinny leaf versus a more rounded leaf if it gets a little more sun. But that's just a little theory I have. I don't have a lot of experience. Nothing is happening as far as the older flower spike. I was hoping it would start to extend again, but nothing's happening. Moving on to my Phalaenopsis mariae. Okay, so this plant is not doing the greatest. This leaf has been stalling for a while now, so I don't know what that's about. And there's no roots that I can see that's developing, and the numerous flower spikes that it had, many of them started turning yellow. So what I've decided was just to cut them off, and hopefully that will divert some of the energy towards leaf growing and root development. There's 2 basal keikis. This one right here is pushing out this new leaf. That's pretty much the only thing that's happening right now. This other basal keiki right here, it also was pushing out a new leaf, but then it rotted. So I don't know what that means. That I'm giving it too much moisture or something? I mean, it has been raining quite a bit in the last few weeks, so that could be a problem. But this one seems to be okay. So we're sort of watching this very closely right now. Might end up unpotting this, but we'll see. This is my tiny Phalaenopsis cochlearis. That leaf right there has finally gotten slightly bigger since the daytime temperature has reached about 90 degrees Fahrenheit or slightly above that. No roots that I could see, but the stem is not very long too, so I don't know if it has room for roots, but yep, it's doing well for now. And this is the Phalaenopsis schilleriana. I've cut off the flower spike since that last video, and this leaf has been growing relatively quickly. There's a lot of root development underneath there. I'm not going to pull it out because it's too heavy, but on the top there, it's developing 2 roots. One of I think was chewed off by something. I'm not really sure. But that other one on top there is looking good. So this is my favorite right now. It's moving really quickly as far as that leaf development. And this is my Dendrophylax funalis, the leafless orchid. So it was developing a new root, but it turned black, and then this root right here starting to go a little it started to desiccate, so I was a little concerned that I was going to lose it. But right now we're just keeping an eye on it. I went ahead and looked on the website to see if I can find a replacement just in case this one died, but I think they ran out or something because it's not posted on the website anymore from Louisiana Orchid Connection. So I hope I don't lose this one, but who knows, we'll wait and see. Right beside it is my amboinensis, and that finished blooming. The spike not doing anything, but it's pushing out a new leaf right here. As you can see, some of the leaves here that were developed by the time I bought it has a lot of deposits. I think the water at the nursery is pretty hard. I'm glad that the orchid is developing a new leaf, so you can see more shiny leaves without all these ugly deposits. Alright, so moving on, this is my bellina variety alba. It is recovering from that sunburn that I subjected it to. Doing well with this new leaf. Other than that, nothing else to report. And this is my regular bellina, which I bought from Hauserman. This leaf is the biggest one it has developed, and it's very shiny and has that creamy green that I really like on species Phalaenopsis. It's not showing up well right now because we're kind of in the shadow, but come 6 o'clock in the evening or maybe 7, when there is dapple sunlight hitting on it, it has this really satisfying green color that looks really healthy. It's pushing out another leaf as well, and the spike that it has down there, which we can't really go in further, hasn't done anything since I bought it. I don't really know what that's about, but I'm really liking this foliage development just as equally, so that's really cool. Alright, this is my Phalaenopsis violecea. This one I always have to look the type before I do the filming because I always get it confused with the Phalaenopsis bellina alba because they kind of look the same. But yeah, this one is doing really well as well. Developing a new leaf right there. At the same time maturing this leaf that's still growing, I think. Spikes right there, it's not doing much, but it's okay. Still early, hasn't been officially summer yet, so there's time. Down below is my Phalaenopsis speciosa. This is the orchid that has the worst amount of sun damage. And then the new leaf that it developed, I accidentally broken it off. It has a new leaf right now, but it's split at the end of here. I think it's growing super fast since the heat. And also, other good news is that I think this spike is trying to extend out. Also on this side as well. So that's good. Might be seeing some blooms. Not too far off in the distant future. That one is also extending, I think. So I'm looking forward to that leaf developing. This is my philippenensis, and this leaf right here, a few weeks back, I thought this orchid was going to be a goner because it was trying to push out, but then like there was some black rot at the tip, and it went down really far into the crown. I thought that was it. But you know, several weeks later, it actually the rot actually stopped, and then it kept extending out. So I was like, great, I don't have to buy a new one. And then there's another new leaf coming out of the crown too. So crisis averted. The modeling is very strong, so that's very satisfying. Right here is my speciosa. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. What's the other name for it? Tetraspis C1. There you go. Somebody from my Orchid Society bought from the same place, and theirs bloomed already. I don't know when they bought it, but they had multiple spikes and everything. So that's really cool. But they're mostly white, like all white. Not a lot of red on the bloom, so I'm hoping mine isn't like that. But as you can see, this is the first flower spike that it has developed, and it's looking really, really nice. This leaf is developing right now, and also that one as well. You can kind of see the creamy green that I mentioned before. This shade of green that I really like. So yeah, so I'm super excited about this orchid blooming in the next few months or so. Yep, looking forward to that. And this is my stuartiana. Just pushing out another leaf. Besides that, nothing else to report. Down here is this Asconopsis. What is it? Irene Dobkin, cultivar Elmhurst. This is that orange peachy orchid. Probably needs a drink, but I'm trying to keep it relatively dry, or drier than the other Phalaenopsis, because I was told that it likes to be drier. Moving on, this is my Phalaenopsis fuscata, and it bloomed a couple more times. I forgot if I had a video on it, but I definitely have pictures of it, but it faded, the spike turned yellow, so I cut it off. This is my variegated amabilis. It's not doing the best. I've inspected the roots in the pot there, and most of them are dead. I don't know why this is happening, but some of the older leaves here are very dry and leathery. Yeah, but it's pushing out so many new leaves, and it doesn't look like it kind of looks like they're getting smaller and smaller, but I don't know. This might be another candidate for water culture, because the one that I have, the Sogovivian, that's also variegated, it's doing really well. So yeah, this might be a candidate for water culture. Alright, down below is this, oh, let me go back. It's a huge, just a generic hybrid Phalaenopsis. It's done blooming. I cut off the spike and is now putting out this new leaf. There's a lot of root development going on right now, and it just also happened to had a recent repot. So yeah, all good stuff. Here is a Phalaenopsis gigantea. This one also really likes the heat, so when the temperature got a little bit higher now, the leaf here is developing much quicker. So I'm hoping that one, at the very least, is bigger than this one right here. So I had to stop the camera for a moment because it's overheating, or it was overheating. I guess that kind of shows you how hot it is outside right now. I'm trying to get this done before noon because I know it's going to be super hot by then. Alright, but we only have a few left. Actually, we just have this one. This is another giant, enormous hybrid Phalaenopsis. I recently got its spike cut off, but it was done. It's doing well, as far as I can tell. It's also recently repotted as well. And that should do it for this shelf, the Phalaenopsis shelf. Thanks for watching, and this concludes the part 2. Stay tuned for part 3. Alright, bye.